Okay, here we are, I don't know, it's probably 2 or 3 weeks after sick week. At sick week, we hurt the engine. I think it's a piston. While it was our third day at sick week, we put oil on the track and engine started missing, dumping oil out. Right here is the remain seal. You can see this is how we took it out of the car. That's the remain right there. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be pressed in there. So we've done this a couple times before when you lose a piston. As soon as all the pressure from on top of the piston goes through it, it pressurizes the crankcase and it finds its weakest link. A lot of times it ends up being that remain seal and it blows it out, which is why we think that's what it is. So we're gonna pull off the exhaust manifolds. Obviously we already got the engine out. We're gonna pull the exhaust manifolds off and see if we can find which hole is covered in oil, fuel, wet, and then we'll pull that cylinder head off first so we can find the hole faster. Regardless, we're going to take the whole engine apart down to nothing, and we're going to start over again with new forged pistons in lieu of these cast pistons. So here we go. We could do a compression test, but I need to get the head off anyway, so we're going to go that route. These manifolds, I guess they call them headers. They're from Rick Lance at ProFab. We made these for the car a few years ago, and they're the race style with the better, larger up pipes. They don't fit a factory truck, not without some modifications. But in the Chevelle, it fits pretty good. It actually fits the firewall well. We don't have to make any other changes to it at all. Other than the steering, we have to move a little bit for that one, but it's not too bad. Last time we broke a piston, it actually melted. It was number 3, which is the other side. No, it was number 4. It was number 4. It was this side right here. So we're hoping that we're hoping it's a different one this time. Heather thinks it's the same one. I guess we're gonna find out. Let me get the flashlight out. Those don't look very wet to me at all. Maybe a little right there, but not too bad. Let's look inside the box. These two look really wet inside. Both of those. This is number 4 here. It looks dry. So 2 and 4 look pretty dry. 6 and 8 look soaked. Well, maybe it's 2 pistons this time. Okay, so here's the even or the odd side. So this is 1, 3, 5, and 7. Rip off this manifold real quick and see what happened. From here, we'll take off both heads and then get the engine on a stand, rip off the rest of the covers, and get it completely torn down. I guess I didn't loosen these like I thought I did. Let me get the flashlight out. Well, they don't look any different than one another. Let's look inside the ports. That back port looks wet. And then the front 2 ports look wet. Number 5 doesn't look that wet. I don't know. Maybe it hurt more than one. But we drove it too long after it broke, and it put oil everywhere. This one did run for a little bit. I got it off the track and then on the return road, and then we towed it to the trailer. So obviously it was off, and we towed it to the trailer. We're back to the pit, and then we drove it into the trailer. So it did run a few times after it broke, but we'll see. We'll fix it.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Ooh.
So we're gonna pop this valve cover off right now. Hopefully, if I got all the bolts out, we're gonna pop it off. So those of you who don't know, my injectors in here, these are S&S injectors. They're 150% over stock. It's the SAC style injector. We're gonna up them this go round. We're gonna send them back to S&S and see if we could get them enlarged. Probably 250s. I think that's what we're gonna ask for this go round. And then we're gonna add a second pump. We have a 12 mil. Again, S&S. I'm sorry, it's a 14 mil pump that we have from them, and it's not keeping up. The fuel pump's not keeping up, and the injectors are not keeping up for the amount of power we're trying to make. Obviously, our pistons aren't keeping up either, so we're gonna upgrade those too. All right, we got the valve cover off. I just want to show you a couple things in here. If you look here on the rocker shafts, we have studs. They're ARP studs with nuts. That's aftermarket. The stock ones are bolts. We have chromoly push rods in here, and then we have studs and billet hold downs on the injectors. The billet hold downs are SoCal Diesel. The studs and nuts are ARP. So ARP here, and then SoCal Diesel chromoly push rods. We've had to upgrade all that throughout the years, just because of, I don't know what you call it, the abuse. Let's call it the abuse that this thing sees regularly. We've bent push rods, we've broken push rods, we've had injector cup issues, which we eliminated the injector cup issues once we went to the billet hold downs with the studs and nuts. No more injector cup issues. And then the studs here on the rocker shaft, that holds everything, you know, where it belongs. Keeps the valve lash where it belongs, nothing moving, nothing flexing. And I mean, this shaft is still factory. It's a factory shaft, factory rocker arms, factory bridges, factory valves, all that's still stock, and it works. You know, when the engine sees 5,000 RPMs regularly, and no problems there whatsoever, as long as we have all this other stuff, you know, intact and where it belongs. So just wanted to show that to you guys a little bit. Give me that one.